What? Come here, baby. Baby! What are you doing? She's on crack right now. She loves it. I'm so glad. I'm so glad she loves it. I think the best day ever. She said this is the best day ever. She's just so ow. Med check. I think I need to go get my inhaler. You know what, clever guy? I do the same thing to Awen. I tell her all the time, I'm like, do you remember when you lived outside? Do you remember when you lived outside? Because she was born astray. She was born outside. Her babyhood was outside. And you know what? Did you hear her? What? Huh? Please tell me you could hear her. She's doing her growl meows where she's like, wow. Wow. That's literally what she sounds like. But like a little bit more growly. She looks at you like you're nuts. She really should be thankful then. Your cat has never been outside except to go to the car. Your cat she doesn't even know. She has no idea. She doesn't know. She's just, it's one of those things. You don't know what you got till you don't have it. She's so not grateful. Just show her videos. Show her videos of what it's like to be a stray cat. Quack. Not really. Aw. In the middle of you trying to put it together, she was biting and scratching you. You think she claimed it already and wanted you to stop touching it. That's why I trimmed her nails. She's like, that's mine. That's mine. I want it. That's mine. She only sees the cats outside. Ooh. Yeah, no, she was born outside. Her mom was a stray that my grandma had been trying to catch for like a year. My grandma had been trying to catch her mom for like a year. Her mom showed up when she was still kind of a kitten. Probably about the age she is now. Maybe a little bit younger. And my grandma kept trying to catch her with like live traps or luring her in, and she kept escaping the live traps. Like she managed to get in, get the food, and get out without triggering the trap part. And she stayed cautious so she'd never come close for over a year, and then eventually the next spring she ended up getting pregnant, pregante, and she had babies, Aowen being one of them. And so then my grandma couldn't figure out where she was keeping her babies. So then we had to wait until the babies were old enough to start wandering and they ended up coming into my grandma's yard too, because my grandma was feeding her every day to try and like gain her trust, you know, to try and gain her trust and to, so then she could hopefully try to catch her. And it just didn't work out that way. But she eventually started bringing her babies into my grandma's yard too, and so then my grandma was feeding her and her 6 babies every single day, twice a day. The mama would nurse in her yard. She would do all sorts of stuff. Like, she trusted my grandma. You could tell that she trusted my grandma, but not enough to want the contact to get close enough to her or her babies. But at one point towards the end, the mom actually got really close to me. She got really, really close to me. She came up because we used to go out there in the warmer months. We'd go out there and we'd sit out there every single day to try and get especially the babies while she was nursing, because the babies were there. We were trying to get them used to humans, to being around them, because the end goal was to catch them all, you know. Was to catch them all and to get them into homes, to good homes. So we wanted to get them used to human contact and to being around humans, so we'd go out there all the time to try and get them used to us. I'm talking about you and your babyhood. Do you remember? Do you remember your babyhood? And once the babies were old enough to be separated from Mama, since we could never figure out where she kept them, my grandma's neighbor, well, where she used to live, her neighbor was like a really hoarder, was very much a hoarder. He had all sorts of shit in his yard. He had all sorts of stuff, so we couldn't figure out where in his yard she kept the babies. We knew her babies were in the yard, but we couldn't figure out where. So once they were old enough to be separated from Mama, that's when we tried to catch them again, because they were still hanging around. Oh, back to what I was saying. Mama ended up getting like this close to me. She got like this close to me. Because I was tossing treats to try and like get her closer, you know? And before, it took her a long time to even fathom taking them and accepting them and coming closer, but she did. She ended up coming close to me. Actually, that was a little bit of an exaggeration. It was definitely a lot closer than that. And then she just laid there and was just hanging out. Anyways, I wish I could have taken Mama home, because I would have been fine with however long she needed to become comfortable with being close, but that wasn't gonna work because of the bunnies, and she had already had the mindset that, you know, bunnies, rabbits are prey. She already had the mindset of predator prey, so I didn't want to bring her home because of the bunnies. So then I was like, I'll take one of her babies. Do you remember your mom? Do you remember your mom? Do you remember? Do you remember, Mama? And she was the third to last baby we caught. Once they were old enough, we started putting the live traps out there again. We started catching them and bringing them into the shelter. I think half of the babies, we ended up catching Mama too. Half of the babies and Mama ended up becoming barn cats. They were put into the barn cat program because they didn't do well with humans. In physical contact with humans, they didn't do well. So they were put into the barn cat program. Cat, do you remember your mom? But the other half got adopted out, and I ended up just taking her straight home. She didn't go to the shelter or anything. I just brought her straight home. But she has yet to meet the bunnies. She hasn't met the bunnies because she had worms and also ear mites when I got her, and it took a while to get rid of them. So I didn't want to introduce that to the bunnies and get them infected. with the worms and the ear mites, so therefore she has never met the bunnies, and the point of getting her was so that she could meet the bunnies when she was a kitten and instill it into her mind that bunnies aren't prey and instead are, you know, one of the same to her. So she has yet to meet the bunnies because now she's too old. She was already old. I wanted her to meet them while the bunnies were bigger than her, and by the time she was cleared from both things, she was already bigger than them. Well, actually, she's about the same size as Chip, but I have stuffed animals, and she attacks them, and she goes for their neck, and she treats them like prey, so I'm not introducing her to the bunnies, so I have a child lock on the bunnies. So she'll never get to meet them, because after how she went after a stuffed animal, I'm not risking that. I've already had an incident once before with a bunny, and I'm with a cat, with a bunny and a cat, and I'm not risking it again. I don't see any outdoor cats here. Where my grandma and my parents live, there's a big cat problem, an outdoor feral cat problem. There's a huge one. It's really, really bad there. The shelter won't take in any more cats. Like, there was more strays that my grandma ended up catching. My grandma ended up catching another stray, but they weren't accepting any more after the mom and the babies because they could house them together. They wouldn't take in any more cats. There's a huge problem there. And it makes me so sad. It makes me so sad. Eventually I want to get her a friend. I do really want to get her a friend. I think she needs a friend, because it doesn't matter how much I play with her, she just has so much energy to expel, and I don't think I can satisfy that. I can't satisfy that, and I know I can't, and I feel bad because I wish I could. But this apartment is so expensive already, and I already pay $70 a month for her. And I can't afford another $70 a month, nor the $300 deposit for another cat. So once I move in April, end of March, April, once I know what my financial situation and my job situation is looking like, I want to get her another friend. I want to get her a friend. And I think she'll love it. So fair, yeah. Maybe I have contemplated like getting a harness for her and putting her in a harness and getting her used to a harness and then introducing her to them while she's in a harness so I have full control of her. But that's not something I'm like seriously contemplating because I just think I'm just gonna keep them separate. I'm just gonna keep them separate, and I'll keep the baby lock on their door so she can't get in. So I died. I think I'm gonna have to completely redo the last phase of that fight before the one we just did. Oh, I don't. Oh, bless. Let me just recover my health then. Let me just regain my health so then I can go back up there. So then I can go up there and do that fight again. I don't know why I wasn't prepared for another fight. I really should have been. Are Henry and Jovi like best friends now? Are Henry and Jovi best friends? Because when I get a friend for her, I'll definitely do another kitten. I'll definitely do a kitten. They're very much siblings. I'll do a kitten for sure. Probably a boy. I'll probably do a boy cat because Jovi isn't very cuddly and they don't sleep together much, but they play and competitively bathe each other. Competitively? How do you competitively bathe each other? How does that even work? How do you competitively bathe? like wrestle for the control of licking. So is it like they haven't settled who is the dominant of the two? Like they're still kind of trying to find out who's the dominant, maybe, question mark? Chip and Oscar, my bunnies, for those who don't know, they are housed separately because they have never been able to settle who is the dominant of the two. They both fight like fuck to be the dominant of the two. I can let them out together to hop around together, but eventually they start humping, which is the dominance thing. Eventually they start humping, and then it'll lead to a fight. But they love being next to each other when there's a cage between them. Because I use dog playpens as their enclosures. I wish to fuck I could free roam them, but I can't. They have dog kennels, like dog playpens as their enclosures, and they're right together. So they can be together, and they have no problems. Like, they have no problems actually being with each other or in each other's spaces. It's just when they start humping, trying to figure out who's the dominant one, they've not been able to figure it out. In the... How long have I had them? 5 years? Even in non-marked territory. Even in non-marked territory. She understands the hierarchy, but she's surprised. I haven't met her, but I can see it. I haven't met her, but I can see it. I can see it. I feel like that checks out for her. When I had Toes and Tommy, Toes just wanted to play all the time. Toes just wanted to play all the time. But Tommy was a little bit more reserved. He was a little bit more reserved, and he didn't want to play all the time, and eventually he gave in. Toes was very much the dominant of the two. But they ended up giving in, and they were pretty cuddly. So I think when I get a second cat, it'll definitely be a boy cat. They're also cheaper to fix. They're cheaper to fix, and I had less... They were much more cuddly. I have found boy cats to be much more cuddly than girl cats. They're more mellow. Even though Toes was an absolute shit.
Hey, does anybody want
an absolute
coffee?
shit.
Who wants coffee?
Hi, Jen. How's Otis
doing? Anybody
doing?
want coffee?
Hi, Jen. How's Otis doing? I hope he's doing okay. I don't remember if I responded to you. If I responded to your last message, I think I might have seen it and then fallen asleep pretty quickly. But I actually don't remember if I responded. But I hope he's doing okay. So far, so good. Wait, let me check something. Oh my gosh, I didn't respond. Oh, I hope he's on the up and up, though. I hope he's on the up and up. Gotta wait against it. We were just talking about cats. So far, so good. That's good to hear. Gotta wake up in 6 hours to get some shopping done before he gets home, but you can't sleep. That's fair. That's fair. I should stop streaming, but I have a lot of energy because I slept a lot of the day. I didn't have any reports come in. So for work, for those who don't know, for work, I have, I primarily work on a specific type of report. I'm a technical writer, so I'm really an editor for, in my current position, my primary report that I work on are penetration tests. So essentially, the testers pretend to be a hacker and they like try to hack into customers' environments and they find their vulnerabilities or places that could be hacked. And so I'm the one that cleans up those reports and clean them up and make them look better for the customers to send them out. And we have three testers, and they just send them in waves. I just get them in waves. So I will be really busy for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then for another week, and then after that, a week and a half, 2 weeks, I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do. It's either I'm really busy or I've got nothing to do. And today, I finished the week and a half of really busy, and now I'm entering the week and a half of nothing to do. So I napped all day. And so I've got a lot of energy. And I've also had wine. Good things, some hiccups, but nothing not normal. That's good. Holiday time during work was always so nice. It was so dead for you since everyone was off. I think that might be how the remainder of the year goes for me. I think that might be how the remainder of the year goes. Although no, I don't think so. There's quite a few reports that they're working on, so I'm sure they'll come in all at once. So here, lurking, thank you for the company. Apple, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for lurking. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to keep you company. You're gonna need a wine night soon. I needed one. It's been a while. It's been a while since I had wine, and tonight I was like, you know what? I kind of want some. And so I went and got some. Especially since we're getting we're getting like 8-9 inches of snow tomorrow night. So I was like, let me just go to the store and get some stuff.
You nice. Keep going. Hey, Jimin, you nice. Keep going.
Let me just get some stuff. Keep it, please. Are y'all getting any snow? Or is the lake keeping you safe?
You should have picked them more carefully.
Is the lake keeping y'all safe from this? I know a lot of the Midwest is getting a huge snowstorm on Christmas. Thankfully, it's not hitting here.
You amaze me. How can you risk your life for a witch?
Don't want any more. Don't want any Sun Michigan for driving for the holidays. Yeah. It doesn't look... We might get some on the 22nd? No, the 23rd. I was looking today because my boss was like, I heard the Midwest is getting like record numbers of snow for Christmas. And so I looked. But we're not getting anything except the 23rd, and it's not going to be very much. But we're supposed to get 9 inches of snow tomorrow night. But I'm not going to go visit my family like I normally do on Friday night, because I'll be there for Christmas. But that'll be fun. I went to the grocery store today to get the wine and a couple other things. I also needed shampoo, so anyways, I got a couple things. And it was so busy, because I forgot that there was a snowstorm coming in. It was so busy. Everyone was there getting things to prepare. So if you're in the Midwest, get your shit. Get your stuff. Be too warm for bad weather. Let me see if mine's still looking the same. When do you drive back? Or in the Midwest of the US. 75% snow today. Hourly. It's supposed to start snowing at 11 a.m. Oh, that's nice. Winter storm warning. Conditions are expected by 9 a.m. Oh, we're at 5 to 8 inches now. Oh, but 7 to 10 closer to Lake Michigan. Urgency, take action within the next hour. Be Friday, they maybe come back Saturday night or early Sunday. Yeah, y'all should be good then. It's supposed to be a warm week here. It's supposed to be a warm week here in the 30s, and then Thursday and Friday, next Thursday and Friday are in the upper 30s, low 40s. If it's a male meteorologist predicting 8 inches. You got nothing to worry about. No, you're right. What about 3 inches? What about 3 feet? Then you should expect 5 inches. I mean, 8 inches. We're looking at 3 inches then. That's what I'm. One time, back when I worked at U-Haul, I used to have a lot of interesting people come in, especially as the only girl that worked at this U-Haul location. I would hear a lot of interesting stuff, experience a lot of interesting stuff. I don't recommend anybody anybody femme presenting. I wouldn't recommend any of you work at U-Haul. One time this old man, like 70s, up like 60s, 70s, okay, come in, and I'm getting him I'm getting him set up for a trailer, and he was like, "You want to hear a joke?" And I was like, "Sure." And he goes, "Why can't women be carpenters?" I was like, "Why?" He goes, "'Cause I think 6-7 inches is 3 inches." And I go, "Oh, was that supposed to be funny?" I was like, "I'm sorry, is that supposed to be funny?" He's like, "Yeah, ha, you know, 'cause like, haha." Other way around. Actually, no, you're right. I actually just said it backwards. I actually just said it backwards. That's what he said. It was actually that. I just said it backwards. I was like, is that supposed to be funny? I was not dealing with it. I just did not want to deal with it. Love asking men to explain their dumb misogynistic jokes. Exactly. He was like, you know, because, like, you know. And then he didn't want to explain it. I was like, yeah. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't funny. Fuck you. You can go to the back, they'll hook you up. You can go to the back, they'll get you set up with your trailer. Then one time, I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face. I was so done with that day that I was able to. There was this guy who came in who was a regular, which is kind of funny. Well, okay, it's funny because I left my 6-year relationship when I was working that job. I had broke up with my partner. It was a bad relationship. I broke up with my partner. And pretty shortly after, I ended up cutting my hair. Shocker, I know. I ended up chopping my hair off. I got some highlights because I'm naturally a dirty blonde. I'm naturally a dirty blonde.